Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and welcome to the virtual tour. Today I am your virtual guide and my name is Mama Atta, and I will take you to a place that is no stranger in the eyes of the world, and it is quite famous for its historic city. It is the city of Melaka, and I will take you to a monument that has been established for centuries in the city of Melaka, namely Porta di Santiago, the Famosa building. After that, I will show you a beautiful river with a view of historic buildings along our cruise, that is the Melaka River Cruise. So, for the starters, I will take you to the city of Famosa, Porta di Santiago. Alright, Famosa is just more than a quick photo stop opportunity for tourists. Built in 1511, the settlement used to sprawl across a walled hillside, but now only a long gate, that is Porta de Santiago, remains. One of the oldest surviving European architectural remains in Asia. It is set beside the Istana Kesultanan on Jalan Kota. Formosa is perhaps Malacca's best known sightseeing spot. Originally constructed by Alfonso de Albuquerque, who led the Portuguese invasion on the Malacca Sultanate, the remains of this fort are now a crumbling whitewashed gatehouse and is located downhill from Saint Paul Church. So the structure of Famosas in the 16th century, Famosa housed the entire Portuguese administration, including its hospitals, 5 churches, elongated stockades, and 4 key towers. One tower was a 4-story keep. The others were an ammunition storage room, captain's residence, and an officer's quarters. The rest of the bastion comprised of townhouse clustered inside the fortress walls. The fort was expanded in 1586 to accommodate Malacca's growing population. Right, for the Portuguese history, at the beginning of the 16th century, the Portuguese were established outposts in Macau, China, and India in order to create a string of friendly ports for their ships plying the routes between China and Portugal. Malacca's growing popularity meant that it was fast becoming an important link for Portugal to the spice routes in China. In 1511, the Portuguese fleet, under the command of Alfonso de Albuquerque, arrived and launched an attack on the armies of this Malacca Sultanate and defeated them. Albuquerque moved swiftly to consolidate his gains by building a fortress around a hill near the sea. He used 1,500 slaves to construct Famosa as a stronghold to defend against foreign invasion. And the Dutch history. In the Dutch is 1641, the Dutch wrested control of Famosa, them out of the Portuguese, and drove them out of the city. What remains is largely the Dutch reconstruction as they carried out renovation works in 1670 following the siege. To this day, you can see a small inscription that is ANNO 1670 on the fort's in the fort's arch, as well as the coat of arms of the Dutch East India Company (VOC). Famosa changed hands again when Malacca fell into British hands during expansionist Napoleonic times, initially under the impression that the VOC was to act as a caretaker administration until the time when the Dutch were able to fully resume control. They had no idea that fort would soon be lost to them forever. In the British history, Due to the fact that they offered too little and asked for too much, the Dutch forces soon lost the respect of their Malay subjects, and in the early 19th century, Melaka was fully conquered by the British. Wary of maintaining the fort should it fall into enemy hands, the English ordered its destruction in 1806. Fortunately, Sir Stamford Raffles, that is a founder of Singapore, who was visiting Malacca in 1810, arrived in the nick of time. Due to his love of history, he stepped in before the complete destruction of the old fortress. It was a close call it was a close call, and the crumbling remains of Porta di Santiago, a small gatehouse, were all that could be salvaged from total destruction. Work was undertaken on the Menara Tamisari revolving tower in 2006. Another part of Formosa was discovered. As a result, the revolving tower was relocated further inland, and a Formosa newly discovered fortress wall was reconstructed. Finally, that's a little as much as the story of the city of Formosa Porta di Santiago. Well, after this, we will take a cruise where it is very important to uh, complete our tour in Malacca, which is on the Malacca River cruise. So let's take this cruise and trace the history along the cruise on this river. Alright, okay, Malacca River was once dubbed the Venice of the East by European seafarers, as it was a prominent port of entry for traders from Europe and Asia during the late 16th century. Spanning a total distance of 10 km, it is also believed to be where Malacca was founded by Sumatran Prince Parameswara, who built his palace along the east side of the riverbank. You can see it's at the foot of St. Paul's Hill in the 14th century specs. Today, it is a popular tourist attraction primarily because of the 45-minute river cruise, which offers tranquil views of colonial buildings, antiquated shop houses, local settlements, and ancient bridge, as well as modern decorations and local art display within Malacca. Read on the Discover Some of Malacca River's unique sightseeing opportunities. Okay, here we can see the River of Bridge. The Malacca River winds its way from Dutch Square and goes past Tan Boon Seng Bridge during the Portuguese invasion of Malacca. They seized this bridge and cut off communication between the two sides of the river, effectively dividing Malacca into two and leading to Malacca's defeat. There's a few other bridges along the Malacca River worth mentioning. Besides the Tan Boon Seng Bridge, there is the Ghost Bridge of Malacca, a pedestrian bridge which links Kampung Pantai to Kampung Jawa, and the Old Market Bridge which links Kampung Hulu to Jalan Ki and the Old Central Market. It used to be a picturesque scene of fishing boats berthed along the riverbanks here, but it is now mostly rows of Chinese restaurants. And here this fun fact: one of these restaurants was featured in the Hollywood blockbuster Entrapment, starring Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones. If you know, and you know it. And then here we can see the Chan Boon Cheng Bridge. Also on the Malacca River is the historical Chan Boon Cheng Bridge. It used to be a concrete structure until major renovations in 1963 led to a current steel facade. In the early 20th century, it linked the old quarter of Chinatown, then known as Kampung Pantai on the west side of the riverbank, to the new quarter of Chinatown via Jalan Bunga Raya on the east side. The bridge is also known for its gruesome past. During the Japanese occupation, Japanese soldiers placed the severed heads of their victims at the foot of the bridge. as a not so gentle reminder for locals to toe the line. Um, and then the Kampung Mountain. After passing several more bridges, the Melaka River leads up to Kampung Mountain, an old Malay settlement classified as a National Heritage Site. It is a typical Malay village but is widely recognized as living museum with well-preserved traditional Malay architecture and a conservative olden days lifestyle. A 17th century Portuguese cathedral called Church of Rosary is also located in Kampung Mountain. Though not much of the structure stood the test of time after Dutch colonials occupied Malacca in 1641. And then here we can see all the street at Melaka River. You will find massive and bold color street art by the Melaka River, most of which are along Jalan Kampung Hulu right outside Jonker Street. Also known as the Melaka River Street Art Project, it was a collaboration between local painters and graffiti artists, producing eye-catching design with the city shop houses and guest houses as their canvas. Commemorating the city's unique identity, heritage, and iconic landmarks, this mural painting range from orang-utans and wild stallions to local fruits and noodles. Although you can easily spot them during a boat cruise along Melaka River, we highly recommend exploring the street art works on foot, as you may find a number of hidden spots that makes for great snapshots. Oh wow! What a beautiful sight just now that we see just now, right? Okay, finally, we have reached the end of our virtual tour. I hope everyone can enjoy to the fullest and get new experiences while we are in Kota Melaka. I hope we will meet again in the future. Thank you for accepting my service as your tour guide. Goodbye everyone. ありがとうございます。